Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. This is Emily O'Sullivan. I'm the Corporate Wellness Specialist for the Working Well Initiative. I'm going to be hosting the webinar today on the Fit Family Challenge, but we do have a guest speaker who's going to be leading us through the majority of the webinar. Her name is Jeanette Gullidge. She is the project manager for the Fit Family Challenge with Carolina Parent. But before she begins, I'm just going to take us through a few housekeeping items. If you're on the call but you're not in the web room yet, make sure that you go to that Outlook calendar request that I sent you and click on the link that says Join Link Meeting, and that should enter you directly into the web room. There are two ways that you can listen to the audio. You can listen simply through the web room, or you can choose to call into our conference line, whichever you prefer. The conference line information is listed on the slides here. If you do listen through the conference line, just please make sure to mute your phone to avoid any background noise, and also mute the speakers on your computer to avoid any difference in the timing of the audio. I also want to point out that we do have a chat pod. If you look at the bottom left hand of your screen, there's an icon there that you can click on. Please feel free to use that throughout the presentation for questions or comments. We really want to hear from you. We want to make this interactive. We also have some attached resources for you. If you look at those icons in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, there's an icon that looks like a big computer screen. If you click on that, you should see 4 attachments listed there that you can download and save and share with any coworkers after today. And one of those attachments is the slides for today, so feel free to download those as well. And also, this webinar is being recorded, so we're going to post this to our website and make it available to you after today so that you can share it with any colleagues maybe that weren't able to join us today. And lastly, if anybody has any technical issues during the webinar, please feel free to message me in the chat pod, or you can shoot me an email at eosullivan@scha.org. Let me know if you're having any trouble, and I'll try to troubleshoot those issues with you. So next, I just would love for everyone to introduce yourself through the chat pod so that we can get a feel for who's on the call today. So please just use the chat pod to tell us your name, your title, and which organization you're with. And as people are typing those in, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our speaker for today. Like I said, her name is Jeanette Gullidge, and she's the project manager for the Fit Family Challenge. She's got a lot of great information for us today. So Jeanette, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Okay, great. Thanks. All right, so I hope everybody's doing great today, and I want to thank everybody for joining us on the call. Please feel free to ask any questions you like as you go through. I think we've got a lot of new folks on that haven't participated before, which is really exciting. So it is a lot of information, and I am going to try to breeze through this as there are a lot of slides and we only have half an hour. But please note that my contact information is at the end of this. So I do hope to hear from you. If you're interested in participating, please shoot me an email and I will follow up with you, as we are about 2 weeks out from the site going live, and we want to make sure, if you're participating, that we have your hospital's name and link to your website on our Fit Family Challenge site by the 1st of April. Now, the challenge won't start until May 5th, but people will be able to go on during the month of April just to pre-register. They won't be able to start tracking any points or any activity until May 5th in South Carolina. Just so you know, the challenge is taking place this year in North Carolina again, and this year we've added Tennessee as well. So we've expanded the challenge in North Carolina to include the entire state, just like we've done in South Carolina. So the challenge is growing, which is great, which means more families and people are getting more fit and active. So with that, I just want to make sure that everybody sees this list of who participated last year. Thanks to those who paved the way. And really impacted the results we had in South Carolina. Here we'll see a slide shortly that shows just how important and critical the hospital's participation was to the success of the challenge last year. So the challenge has been around since 2012. It started in North Carolina with a partnership through the Parent Magazine and Coca-Cola. Last year was the first year that the South Carolina Hospital Association joined to help spread the word in South Carolina, and that was a huge success. And this year, we're happy to have them back, have you guys on board. And now the challenge for you guys is going to be to maintain your #1 spot because South Carolina actually beat North Carolina last year in activity points, activity minutes, and the number of participants. So for those of you who are new to the challenge this year, these are the reasons why we do the challenge. Childhood obesity, especially in the Southeast, is still a huge problem. With just a number of different factors contribute to the lack of activity in a lot of families and with a lot of kids these days. You guys all know this. This is your world, so I'm not going to get into details here, but the information is there and more links if you need to offer anybody more information on why get involved, especially if you need to share this with your peers or management. This is a slide that I was referring to a second ago about the results. And, what I pulled away from all the reports at the end of last year were these impressive statistics that 77% of the participants who took the survey at the end of the program said that they were exercising more regularly, and that can only lead to better health or improved health in the long run. And 62% of the respondents said that their families were eating better. So part of the challenge is this online tracker that we will get into more here in a moment, and it allows people to receive points. So they're being rewarded with points for healthy habits, from exercise, of course, to eating healthy snacks, spending less time in front of a computer screen, getting more active. There's just a number of already pre-listed activities and things that they can get points for in the tracker. So it's not, they don't have to handwrite or type in exactly what they did. So it makes it very easy for families to take just a couple of minutes at the end of the day or once a week to input their information. It is a points-driven system. So every time they reach 100 points, that's like another entry into the drawing for weekly prizes. There's also a gold star prize in week 4, and of course the grand prize is a trip for 4 to Universal Studios again, and we'll get into prizes a little bit more. But they people really react positively to the prizes, and it's a very interactive tracker. Families can see how they're doing against their goals that they set, and regions can see how they're doing compared to other parts of the state, which I think really kind of keeps the community spirit alive and allows people to stay engaged because they certainly don't want their hometown to go down. So in that little graph there, I just wanted to point out how strong South Carolina was last year, and and how important hospitals were to those numbers. You can see there, I broke out by region. Palmetto Parent is the Midlands, by the way. So you can see I just added a line there that points out how many participants came from those regions where the hospitals were pushing the program out. So those are significant numbers, and I really hope that we can do as well, and of course aspire to do even better this year. So that made hospitals the third highest ranking for how people learned about the challenge. Very impressive, folks. So this is just a quick rundown of, you know, how the challenge works. It really is multifaceted. You know, we talk about the online tracker, and I think that's how most people engage. However, it's a great way to help build community and support for your efforts there at your hospital and in your community or your organization through a number of different means. If you participate in the challenge, we hope that you can let us know of any free classes that you offer the community, any events that you're hosting during the challenge. We will help get that word out for you through the magazine's website, social media efforts. All the parent magazines also during the challenge do weekly newsletters to their participants. So once we have them engaged, we can hopefully keep them engaged through, you know, weekly newsletters, blogs, social media, and of course through the tracker. So I'll be following up with folks if they're interested in participating to try to get that information. Again, the site will go live on April 1st, and we'd love to have as much of those classes and events listed by that point. Another important part of this, as I mentioned, were the prizes. Well, every time somebody attends a class of yours or an event of yours, they are entitled to get 100 extra points. And every time they get 100 extra points, that's another entry into the drawing for a weekly prize or the Gold Star Prize or the Grand Prize. And we provide all those prizes, so you don't have to do any of that. So if you are interested in providing events or classes for folks to participate in, you know, just let me know, and I will make sure that your hospital gets a code. And this code, it's a very simple, you know, 4-digit number that all your participants can take, and they'll have a way of uploading that code into their profile where they track their points so that they can get an extra entry into the drawing. So it's a nice perk for participating. Events are a great way to keep people engaged. We attend as many larger ones as we can here in the Triangle, where I help out as a project manager as well. But it's an opportunity for us to talk about the challenge, to bring on our community partners. Sometimes we have, you know, giveaways like little free pedometers. We offer kids trackers, you know, just ways to engage people, offer them an incentive to go ahead and participate at, you know, some of these larger festivals and 5Ks and things like that we are invited to attend. So this is just a snapshot of what the online registration looks like. Of course, our logo changed this year, so it will look slightly different, but it's very simple. It just, you know, we do need the participants' information, mainly so that we can just let them know if they want a prize. If they do win, there's very strict rules about getting them their prizes and notification and whatnot. So we have to have their information for that reason. We don't share the lists with other folks, so you don't have to worry about that. We also, at these larger events, we also provide online paper registration forms, so people can go ahead and register, and then we go back to the office and input their information. I can make that you know, available to you as well, that form, if you plan to try to attend events. But really, I think, you know, for the most part, you guys can just share information at your own events. If you're going to do any type of a launch event or anything, please let me know that too. I'd love to try to attend as many of these as I can down there and help celebrate with you. This is more just information on how the tracker works, the points values that I've already gone into, so I won't spend any time there. These are just samples of the leaderboards, which again will look slightly different this year, but it just shows how you can use this information in your social media. If you want to keep the excitement going, encourage your community to log their points and don't let the other region win. This is more information about our prizes that I've already mentioned. So the grand prize is going to be a trip for 4 to Universal, as I said again, and that's a great prize for a family to win. And this will be a prize that each state will have their own prize. So they're not competing against North Carolina for this grand prize. This is just for South Carolina. The weekly prize will be a $100 gift card and also 2 wearable trackers, and I'm sure all of you are familiar with Fitbits. This is kind of a knockoff called Misfits, but they they retail for $50 a piece, and so we'll be giving away 2 of those plus the $100 gift card each week in each individual region. So 8 of those will be awarded in upstate, 8 in the Midlands, and 8 in the Low Country. The Gold Star Prize is something new this year. Last year, this was called a Super Fit Hero for anybody that did it last year. This prize will be awarded in week 4. And to be in the drawing for this prize, we're going to need to see that participants have participated for 4 weeks in a row with a minimum of 150 minutes a week of activity, which really isn't that much. If they sign up for a yoga class, or if they're already doing a class at your wellness center or something, I mean, they're already halfway there almost. So that's a really simple benchmark to reach, we hope. And that prize is valued at $450. So that'll be a nice perk that will be given away in each region as well. We do have press conferences scheduled in each of the markets already, and exact locations will be coming out shortly, but we'll again be meeting, I know, in Columbia at the Capitol, and we're sorting out locations in Greenville and Charleston right now. But if if you happen to be available, we'd love to see you there. We usually try to get as much media out as possible. Our local mayors in all our regions are very supportive. So last year the program had excellent media coverage because of great PR that Coca-Cola helps us with. We were able to get just a lot of visibility. And again, radio, Coca-Cola supports the program with a large media buy for radio. So I am almost positive that you will be hearing radio spots wherever you are in the state of South Carolina about the challenge. And of course, online is our most successful way of reaching folks. So lots of different ways that we get the word out. These are just some local ways, more local initiatives, just repeated here again on how to make the challenge happen in your hospital or in your community. Very simple ways. If you are participating in the challenge and people from your hospital are signing up, we hope that you can put the logo somewhere on your website with a hyperlink so that they can get more information on it. Um, because it's, it's only for 2 months, so it's time sensitive, and it just helps let people know that are going to the hospital site that you guys are participating, in case they hear about it on a radio commercial, or see it on TV, and we'll have the hospitals listed. So once they go to the site, it would be great for you guys to be able to have a logo somewhere on there so that people know that they're at the right place. We'll be offering that digital toolkit again this year, for anybody who wants to implement this at their level, with flyers, logos, anything you need to help implement it at your level. So really, if there's any customization necessary, we'll have a template ready to go for you. And that way, if you need to run copies at your site for the postcards or for the half sheet flyers, you'll be able to do that with ease. So there's a lot of support available to you. So I hope everybody will, take a couple of minutes to talk about it with their teams and let us know as soon as possible. Again, it's free to participate, so there's no cost, and it's a lot of fun. It's something to get behind this spring, and hopefully improve the health of your communities. And I'm happy to take any questions. Well, again, I don't know the exact locations, except just, the one in Columbia. But, I'm happy to discuss that with you. Maybe you have some great locations that that you can recommend. So we still haven't finalized them in all the regions, just the one at the Capitol. So, yeah, I mean, I can get with you after the call, and we can discuss that. They only do one press conference in each region because they're kind of a big deal. A lot of representatives from Coca-Cola come this year. CVS is also our sponsor, and they're flying in people for this from different parts of the country. So that's why they only do one in each region. But if you're doing like a localized one at your hospital, if you want to do a launch at your hospital or whatever, I'm happy to, offer whatever I can to make that successful for you. So the more people we have on board, the more we can work to publicize that it's happening at your hospital during the main press conference. So there's down in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little icon. If you're able to see the, are you in link right now? Okay, so there's a little computer screen that looks like it's got a little yellow star circle on it in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Not the first one, that's the chat room, of course, and then it's the fourth one over. If you click there, you should be able to see some attachments, and this has been saved as a PDF for you, and you can just download the whole thing and pull down a slide or two if you need, or whatever you need, and use it there. But there's my contact information as well, and I'll actually be down in South Carolina on Monday. Oh, I'm going to turn it over to Emily, who can talk a little bit about our continued efforts to offer support.
Thanks so much, Jeanette. That was great. I did want to let everyone know, oh, it looks like we lost our presentation. I'm going to try to pull that back up for you. We are going to host a couple of technical assistance calls in the following weeks. So next Tuesday, the 24th, as well as the following Tuesday, the 31st, we're going to host a brief 30-minute technical assistance call. So if you want to participate in this, and as you're going through the planning process, if you have questions or if you need assistance, that's what these technical assistance calls are for. So if you're interested in participating in either of those, please just shoot me an email. My information's on the screen. It's eosullivan@scha.org, and I'll give you the call-in information for that. So please, please, please participate in those if you need assistance and would like more information. Lastly, I just wanted to pause to see if anyone else has any further questions. Feel free to unmute your phone line and ask over the phone, or type them in through the chat pod if you're in the web room. I do just want to reiterate that Jeanette and I, and also Jen Wright, our Working Well manager, we are available to help you through this process. So if you think of questions after today, please feel free to reach out to us, and we can help you through those. And if you do decide to participate in the Fit Family Challenge, make sure you reach out to Jeanette, and she'll send you all the information you need, all the handouts, and she'll give you access to that digital toolkit.
And where does her contact information?
I'll scroll back to it. It was on an earlier slide right here. This is contact information for Jeanette, myself, and also Jen Wright. So please feel free to reach out to...
That's part of the presentation, so if we print that out, we have it, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's great.
Any other questions? All right, well, thanks everyone for participating today. Jeanette and I are going to hang out in the web room for a little bit, so if you think of any further questions, please feel free to shoot those through the chat pod. But thank you again for participating, and everybody have a great day.